Okay, here we go, guild battle. All right, first things first, let's take a look at the weapon. We're fighting, or the enemy. We're fighting the Behemoth King. Behemoth King is weak to fire, resistance to ice. It's got a Diamond Sigil and Triangle Sigil for breaks. Oh, I see. So it's Diamond Sigil to break the sigil, and then Triangle Sigils increases how much damage you deal. For folks that have not played it in the Bahamut and Leviathan summer event, this is a new thing that they've added to the game. So using the damage sigils can increase how much damage you deal during the interrupt phase, which is very, very good. And obviously Lucia's new weapon that gives +4 to the Triangle Sigil break will make it very easy then to get that damage increase to a higher level, right? All right, it's immune to poison, immune to darkness, immune to silence, immune to stun, immune to fatigue, immune to fog, immune to stop. Immune to stop. No physical or magic attack down, so no debuffs either. You can debuff physical and magic defense though, which is good. Uses many powerful magic attacks, lowers own physical defense and magic defense with retaliation. Force gauge Icy Revenge can be depleted with damage. Potency of the powerful ice element magic attack Icy Revenge changes based on the amount the gauge is filled. So very similar to the stuff we fought before, right? Like the Materia Keeper, right? With the Trine effect, you just had to get the damage gauge down and it did less damage. Very similar, right? Just have to deal damage to take less, right? Pretty easy. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and delete all of our teams that we had from the last guild battle. And then we're gonna hop in right in with the buff score. Go auto formation points, boom. We've got Sephiroth and Barret. I am maxed out. That's crazy. All of my weapons for this are OB10. Thanks, Barret. Thanks, Barret, because that's the reason why we're here. Look at all these Barret weapons I have at OB10. That's crazy. Gear's gonna be the same thing. It looks like it's since, looks like just since half anniversary, right? Yeah, just since half anniversary. So anything from half anniversary, Ever Crisis Academy, the Easter banners, right? That's gonna be what we're looking at for the buff scores here. 76 is really good, right? I can level up a couple of these weapons that I have at 80 and get this up even higher. So this is really good for me. All right, so we can't use Barret and we can't use Sephiroth. Sephiroth is actually kind of a loss here because we lose out on Radiant Edge, which is a really good fire weapon sub-weapon, right? Like, it's a really good fire sub-weapon. So to lose out on that, to lose out on Enemy Launcher, to lose out on the prototype Crimson Blade, which is another good fire potency weapon, there's a lot of really good stuff here that we would normally use as sub-weapons that we're not going to have access to. So for me, it's easy because I can just pop Cloud in here. All right, so I've got Cloud's Fire Arcanum from the last January, right? Not this past January, but the January before event. I've also got Sky Splitter. They just recently buffed this outfit. So now this outfit with Sky Splitter actually gets Cloud up to the 56-point break for physical attack, which is the cap. So that's actually great for me. Locksword will increase my fire potency, which is excellent. We got the ultimate Buster Sword. We're gonna give him Hellfire for the physical fire or for the fire potency damage. So we're gonna do both of the fire potency materials. So these two, they'll both give 9.8%. And then I believe this is X Sigil, right? Yeah, okay. So we'll just actually put one of these here. And then we'll just give him one physical attack materia, the highest one that we've got. Please take off support materia, thank you. Perfect. Wow, that's before sub weapons too. That's crazy, okay. And then he's already got physical attack maxed out. So we're looking for something that's fire potency. The one that comes to mind immediately is the Crystal Sword for Zac. It is a less powerful weapon in terms of stats, right? The stats are, to be clear, bad. Like bad actually. But it does give not physical attack and it gives that fire potency that we like. So when we equip this, it's gonna give Cloud that 65-point break, which gets him to that level 8 boost, which is excellent, right? Now all we need is physical ability potency because we've got pretty much everything else in terms of DPS. And although we can't use the very, very, very good enemy launcher, we do have some other options. We do want physical attack on allies to help boost up our friends. So having this as an option as well is also very good. And then in terms of the last slot here, we're probably gonna want to just focus in on damage for the stage 1 fight. I may have to adjust for the extra HP, so we may have to use like Twinkling Star or one of the event weapons to get our HP up. But for the time being, I'm gonna focus in on pure damage because we can at the end of the day, right? So we're looking at likely either Mad Minute for the 52 points of physical ability potency, which would get us up to the level 5 break, or we can use Ultimatic, which I think would put us at level 4, but give us a big attack boost to max that out as well. Game agrees. All right, let's stick with that. So we've got physical attack all allies, we've got and physical ability potency, we have attack and physical ability potency, we have attack and fire potency. That obviously maxes out our attack as well by a little bit too much, but it's fine. Focuses in completely on DPS. Again, this is for the stage 1 fight. We will probably need to adjust for stage 5, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, in terms of support, there's an easy answer here. It's just Aerith, right? Aerith isn't being used in the gear score stuff, which is great. She wants probably buff debuff extension here. Kamura dress is pretty good for that. This got buff debuff extension plus, also get some boost heal. This one did not have buff debuff extension. This one did though, right? Yep, this one does. Also has ATB boost, which isn't bad. It's probably one of these two. We'll fart around with it and figure it out. I'm gonna assume it's probably the Songstress though. Okay, and then for sure, no matter what, she's getting Kamura wand, right? That's absolutely happening. The question is, do we think we're gonna, for the stage 1 fight, we probably don't need the heal. But I think I'm probably gonna build her that way anyways, because there's nothing else here that she really wants for this particular fight. She could bring in Riot Blade, but my Lucia is going to be the one that's debuffing fire resist, right? Oh, is she though? We don't have a physical defense debuff with this build. That's going to end up being a problem. Yeah, not having a physical defense debuff is kind of an issue. I could bring in Floral Wand. It's a -2 to physical defense, and maybe that's good enough with Enfeeble on. For Aerith, this is just going to be purely defensive. We don't need her doing damage. We just need her helping out here. She is going to need a heal in this last slot, though. So we're going to have to grab whatever the highest heal is. This one here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, and then we want physical attack all allies, and then we want magic defense all allies, right? So let's do Gauntlets of the Glory. We'll do Foam Sword. And then we'll do attack all allies here to round it out. Give a buff debuff extension. Makes sense to me. 213 magic defense isn't great, but it's fine. Last character, we are going to try to use Lucia here. I only really have the one outfit, which would be helpful just for the extra physical defense. But let's assume that we're, I'm sorry, for the magic defense, not the physical defense, right? But this Vivi's Garb does HP and magic defense. That's still going to be good enough, I think. Let's grab her Enfeeble weapon. We're going to grab her Marine Shooter. Give her her stock ultimate weapon. We're also going to give her the Crimson Flare. And then just physical attack our abilities here. We are going to give her a triangle boost one in that last slot, just so she can utilize that, because there's no reason not to take advantage of that very, very good triangle slot that she gets access to. Whatever the first one is. Looks like it's this one. Is that it? Is that true? Yes. Also going to brand this bad boy. Try to get some good attack things here. C ability is also good. There we go. That's actually really good. Wow. Almost 5% extra damage and 38 attack. That's actually really strong. That's great. And then the rest of the build's pretty easy, right? We're going to get physical attack on allies again. Whichever one's the highest. I'm surprised I've not seen one yet. Here we go. We're going to do attack all allies, but she already has. We do magic defense all allies. Because remember, she's not going to be doing that much damage, right? She's going to be mostly here for support. And then just, I guess we still do, maybe we do another physical attack on allies weapon. Just do this one with buff debuff extend. Ooh, she might struggle with that low of HP though. I think we give her Crew Kicker instead. Just to get her HP to a threshold that she's going to be okay. Increases her fire potency up to that level 5 break, which is decent. Gives her a little bit more damage. That's fine. Alrighty. So as always, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is what the build's going to be. We're just going to go into the mock and see what it looks like. I don't know if we're going to need Diamond Sigil Break or not. That may dictate that we're bringing in Red 13. All right, so let's do this the right way. We go here. Get fire resist down. Lower defense. Ooh, it does look like I'm gonna need a Diamond Sigil Break for this for sure. Wow. Because that's just on stage 1, right? Interesting. That does make things kind of tough. This man needs to calm down. So I think what this tells me is I'm probably just not worrying about this with this current build. She gets supporter tuning too. That's crazy. Trying to think about this one. This is actually going to be kind of tough for me in particular, right? Which is wild with how much like buff I've got. Diamond Sigil. Diamond Sigil Break, man. Does Nightjar has Diamond Sigil Break, right? Oh, I guess she's got her physical defense down is a Diamond Sigil Break. Maybe this is more useful then, right? I could also ditch her fire resist. Oh, right. Aerith could, right? Because we wouldn't need physical defense down anymore because she'd have it. Maybe that solves the problem. So now we have high physical defense down. We've got high fire resist down. And Cloud's gonna buff himself. And I think I'm too tired tonight. So I think I'm gonna put it on semi here just for my mental health. So that these guys can help me out a little bit. Okay, that should be fine now. Yeah, look at this now. Okay. almost dead here. Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's the build then, right? That's the build. I'd have to go back and watch and see how much damage we actually took there, like how often it hit us. Because we may not even need the HP or the heal here, right? Let's take a peek. Jump right into stage 5. All right, so same concept here. Purge debuffs here to make sure our magic attack is up. See how much this does. Honestly, do we pop summons there? We absolutely pop summons there. Choppy, welcome in. Yeah, we absolutely pop summons there. Okay. That wasn't bad at all. We pop summons during the interrupt phase for sure, though. There's no reason not to, right? There's no reason for us to even go to that last phase where it does damage there. So we don't need any more HP than we have right now. Not at all. That's gonna be very easy for me. But yeah, so that last one, we definitely go in and we pop off our summons during the interrupt phase, right at the end of the interrupt phase, because we're not gonna get another attack off anyways. We pop all of our overspeeds on during that phase to make sure that we can get the Diamond Sigil breakdown. Seems pretty cut and dry, actually. This one seems pretty easy if you've got the build, right? But basically, for the folks at home that are interested, or the folks who are watching the video on YouTube once this goes up on YouTube tomorrow, you want your DPS and your DPS slot getting as much damage as humanly possible. I've got my Cloud at 13,000 attack because all of his weapons are at, you know, higher overboost levels. But make sure that he's got access to some decent damage, whether it's Cloud, Vincent, Sephiroth, Angeal, whoever it might be, right? You know, just slot them in here for physical fire damage, and then you're bringing in a support that increases your physical attack and lowers fire resist. There are only a few options that do both in the game, and I think it might just be Aerith that can do this both, right? So if you don't have Kamura one, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but a little bit more difficult. In that case, you could, if you have the Monster Hunter weapon for Cloud, the Glavinus sword, right? That increases physical attack and lowers physical defense. You could use this for Cloud instead, and then, you know, bring physical attack up somewhere else right? Give like Lucia something else that helps your team out a bit. Give her the fire resist down, since she doesn't need the magic or physical defense down anymore. And then you can bring in red 13 with the Ivy Collar and the Diamond Sigil break, right? With the Silver Collar is the Diamond Sigil break for red 13, I think. You just bring in both collars and, you know, pop off. There are a couple options there, but basic needs though, you definitely need Diamond Sigil break for this. It's required. You're gonna need it. It's Diamond Sigil break is gonna be necessary for this fight. So for the wish list on that banner, by the way, probably want to put Nightjar, right? Probably pretty important for the guild battle. But yeah, this one actually, I'll be totally for real. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It's going to be pretty cut and dry. That one's not too bad. This is a pretty easy fight. Not bad at all. I think if I change something up, I'll probably give Aerith Triangle Sigil specific Runras here. So that way she's increasing that damage bonus a bit more. I'll give Cloud a specific Triangle break material here. Because I imagine there's got to be one in the top echelon for physical attack as well. I probably gave it to Lucia, right? Yeah, I did. This would be the next highest one. Which, like, it lowers his attack from, what, 13,000 to 12,800. Yeah, it lowers it by 200, right? But that way, when Cloud's hitting this thing, instead of hitting it for basically just fire damage, he'll start hitting it for that Triangle Sigil break and increase that damage gauge. But that should pretty much cover it, honestly. I'm trying to think of what else you would possibly need here. This is a pretty well put together team. I completely forgot the Nightjar does tier 3 physical defense down. I think it actually goes to high at OB6 as well. Instead of mid to high, yeah, it's high to high. So yeah, this is great. This is great. That actually pairs super well with her new weapon too, right? This one does. So this is a great combo. Yeah, it's physical fire. Yep, physical fire. So as always with these, like, you can use magic, but the DPS difference is massive, right? So for me, I have a buff score of 76, which is pretty high, but it's a 373% difference. If it's lower there, like if it's only 100% difference, try the magic team, see if it works. I'm kind of shocked this was way easier than I was expecting. I thought I was gonna have to be here till midnight.